Hey guys, welcome back to another week of From How Did I Get From There to Here? And I have a awesome young lady. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. I think she has an amazing story, and I think you guys are going to want to hear how the ham sandwich did she get here. So go ahead and
Child,
introduce
you say ham.
yourself.
This is like a cold cut trio. Like this is the back in the day. Hey everyone, my name is Narja Martin. You're about to find out a whole lot about me. This is about to be a crash course. That's all I can say right now.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm
So
excited. I'm grateful that you took the time out of your day to come visit
you
us.
had to chase me
I
down. Yes,
did,
you
but hey,
did.
you
You
are
did.
here.
Yes.
So, Dr. Martin, if I may.
Okay,
So, if
fine.
you want to start
Yeah.
with, you already gave us your name. What do you
Yes.
do, and where are you from?
So I am a family medicine physician from Bamberg, South Carolina. So very small town. Love my little country town. I currently work at Lexington Family Practice in the Summit. I've been there for 3 years now, and it's been interesting. So I graduated med school 2016. I went to MUSC in Charleston. Love MUSC.
Okay.
I rep them real hard.
Okay.
But I'm from Carolina girl, so go Cox. I'm just just real quick plug. Real quick plug.
So, before we get to the current, let's take a step to where you were. So you're from Bamberg.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you got out of high school, what was your original major? Like, what did you go in
Ooh.
majoring in?
So that part, I was undecided when I came. I
Okay.
did not have a major. I was
Okay.
just out here. I was a very okay. So if you see me today, I'm a very curious person. I thought I was going to be a archaeologist, a marine biologist. I can't swim.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that involved water. I thought I was going to be an archaeologist because I followed whatever I saw on the Discovery Channel. If they were out in the desert and we were pyramids, mummy, I'm going
So
to
you're
do
very
that.
curious. You got to get very curious
Yes,
mind.
I
Okay.
was. And then I realized out in the desert you can't take a shower when you wanted to, so that shut that down real quick. So I started to realize
Okay.
that this was not going as I had planned. But I was undecided, but I was a part of the trio program. So hey, Miss
What's
Counts.
the trio program?
So it is designed for, it's been a while, but I would say African American students and any student, a person of color, it's programs to just help you get in. Not even say help you get into college, but it's programs designed that once you're in college, just supporting you.
Okay. Okay.
So I would say I did that under that program. I was undecided, and it was nice for me because I really got to take some time to just figure it out.
So at what point did you pick a major? So you went in, how long were you undecided? And at what point did you pick a major?
I think I picked my name. I did pick it by my second year. I
Okay.
decided to do biology because I liked a lot of things,
Okay.
but I realized more that I did like the human body. So that was it was like an easy okay, this seems right for
Okay.
you.
All right.
Now picking career that was a lot, but I got it together by the end of college.
Okay. So when
Yes.
you graduated with your bachelor's in biology, so what was your thinking at that time? Like, hey, I want to do.
Ooh, so let me tell you what had happened.
Okay, what had happened?
So I'm gonna be honest. There was a lot of just me just enjoying college and I don't want to say enjoying college, just like the outside stuff. I love I love biology. I love my courses, my classes, but I still didn't know what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So a lot of people was like, oh, well, if you get this biology degree, you're going to be a teacher. And I was like, I'm thinking, oh, I like Miss Frizzle. So my mind, I should have had a mentor. I should have had get a mentor. If anybody tells you to do anything, because I was doing what I saw in the what I grew up with, and I'm a first degree college, like not first degree. I'm a first generation college student. So the guidance I had was friends and some older
TV
folks.
shows.
Yes. So
Discovery Channel.
but I like the way I did it.
Yeah.
I would not do it any other way because it was very much free. So I got to my senior year, and a lot of my friends was like, oh, well, we're thinking about med school. And I was like, I mean, I kind of, okay. I didn't think about that. And at that point in time, a lot of them had already started taking the MCAT their junior year, and they were prepping through. So I looked into it. I went to the office of pre-professional, like a department and just started kind of doing my own research. And I was
Okay.
like, I think I would like that too. But at that point, I was like a senior and
Right.
everybody else had
They
started
had already got a
their,
head start.
yeah. I had not had that head
Okay.
start. So I had told my family, I think I'm doing this. And they said, okay, all right. My mom wasn't pushing anything. She was like, whatever makes you happy, we're here to support you. So that's what happened. And then all of a sudden, graduation was around the corner. And I was like, oh, I'm about to graduate. And I have not even
Wow.
started taking my MCAT.
So the MCAT, tell us a little bit about that in terms of, how many hours are we talking about in terms of the test? How many, give us some idea.
The test has changed a lot. I will say
At
that.
the time where you were there. How about
The
that?
test has changed a lot. When I was there, a lot of studying is a ton of studying is involved. The test itself was somewhere, I want to say 8 hours does not sound right, but it's a long test. So somewhere between 4 to 8.
Is it parts, or you have to you take all the parts in one, or you take them separately?
It's all in one. It is all in one.
Oh gosh,
8
how
hours does not sound right, but
prepare?
it is a long test, and that's probably how they weeded things out. But it is a long test,
Wow.
and it has changed so much so that I just remember. I remember just tons of studying. But yeah, so once I graduated,
how long did you study for this to take the MCAT? Like, how much time did you give yourself just to study for that?
So I think that question comes in the sense. So how I ended up going into med school, because I was not really prepared for what the journey was going to be going to med school. I took 4 years off between college and med school.
Okay.
So I had a lot of time to study. But I will say I also was working, because once I graduated, I also had to be a fully employed individual.
What were you doing?
Okay, so coming out of college, I worked at Office Depot. So let's just say
it
was not medical.
Okay, I got you.
It was not medical from the start. I worked at Office Depot. Great job. So, yeah. But then it had to be more of a big girl job. That was like my end of college job. I ended up, what did I do next? After I went to Office Depot, I ended up finding a job because I was like, okay, it has to be medical, because I feel like I need to use this time wisely.
Right.
Because I'm also studying and working full time, because I'm out of college and I have an apartment and I have to support myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember the days when you could support oneself on
Ooh,
Office Depot.
was that not a time?
Because I don't think you can do that
No,
now.
not at all.
I don't think it can be done.
Not at all. I don't know how. So I remember finding my first, what I call big girl job. It's my first full-time job. It was an OB-GYN office in Columbia. And I remember having to go back to my boss at Office Depot and like fearful. I was like, I have to quit and start like next week.
Wow.
I like bought him a burger from like Five Guys. And like, this was like my resignation letter, was like bringing him a burger from Five Guys. And I was like, look, I want to go to med school. I need you to let me out of this job next week. I'm so sorry. I'm like leaving.
I love
and he
your
took
peace
the burger.
offering.
It was a peace offering, and like fear. And he just laughed. He was like, I know what you want to do with your life. I'm very blessed to say this whole journey, the way it was set up, it's funny, and it's I'm just thankful how things played out. It just worked so well. So he took the burger. He was like, yes, I know what you want to do with your life. Go do it. We will be fine. Okay. He took the burger as my resignation letter, and So after that, I started at this practice, which there's a lot to that. So I'm not gonna name the practice, but I was there for 2 years. Okay. So in that 2 years, I will say I did take the MCAT one time coming out of college, but it made me realize how unprepared I was. Okay. So that was the time where I was like, okay, you can't just go take this test.
Is it a very expensive test?
It is. It is a very expensive test saying you got Office Depot money.
Got you.
Yes. So I took it, and it did not go well. Okay. It did not go well by any means. Okay. And that's when I was like, oh, you're not going to just walk into this.
So you literally had to invest in. Yeah. Did you have to invest in study material of some sort, or like?
I did.
So it's a kind of a front end investment just to even get to medical school.
Yes, okay, I did. There was a Kaplan course. I'm not sure if it's still something that's offered now. But there was a Kaplan course that you pay up front, and it's kind of like a class. You take this class with everybody who wants to go to med school doing the MCAT, and you go certain times during the week, you study, they walk you through like just not even test taking tips. It's like courses
Okay,
to help
okay.
you, not even gonna say pass the test, but help you to literally do well on the test.
Okay.
So so I did that on my own, and that was like, okay, I'm working, and also doing
Studying,
this.
yeah.
So it was a time. So I finished the courses, but I think after that first one, it just knocked my confidence so hard. I didn't immediately go take it
Yeah.
because I knew that was money that I was going to have to pay, and I
True.
didn't feel ready.
True.
Even after taking the course, I was psyching myself out.
But I love that it didn't knock you down enough to make you like not get back up and try it again.
Oh yeah, because there was also no alternative
It
plans.
just kind of gave you a little stutter step.
Oh yeah, it did because also, baby, I did not have an alternative plan.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, well, the job that I had at the OB-GYN office, it wasn't going to be my career.
Right.
So what are you going to do if this does not work out? And I remember like I was like, I don't know. I have no idea. The OB-GYN office, I will say, while I was there and working, a lot of that drive at the time was just like, I enjoyed that job and the people I met there, but I wasn't happy there.
That's
like
fair.
I can't stop here.
Yeah.
So it's like that fear where you're like, okay, I'm too afraid to fail, but I'm also afraid to take the test. So I'm also afraid of succeeding. So it was a lot internally that was happening.
Yeah.
And my family and everybody at the same time was definitely just like, okay, it's fine. They saw the pressure I was putting on myself. I was trying to do a lot personally and help friends out at the same time. And then I remember it was one day randomly. It was like a September. And I was going to the public library downtown. And I remember telling myself, you're just not doing enough. And I remember saying, like, if you don't focus on this is it. Like, that's just it. And I remember it was specifically September.
Wow.
And I was walking into the library because I was helping somebody do something else. And I was like, you have spent so much time helping other people trying to get to their goals. Where are you now? And it was just like an
epiphany. Like
yeah,
that's
it was just like a snap.
pivotal moment.
Yeah, it was like a snap, like lock in. Yeah.
Okay.
It was that too.
So you took the test again, obviously.
I did take the test again. This is so much like a confession right now of like, God, they're going to know how many times I took this test. I took the test again. I did do better. I did do better, and I took that score, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and apply. So that part, I went ahead and applied that round. With my score, it was better, but it wasn't what I wanted.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. So me and Jesus had some talks, and I was like, look, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, the little voice is telling you you're not supposed to do this. Because I've heard, like, you hear the comments from the naysayers, the little voices that are in your own head with those external comments coming at you.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not gonna be able to do this.
Yeah, go ahead and quit now. You ain't
Yeah,
gonna make
quit
it.
now. But at the same time, the other party is like, but no, I really want this.
But
Like,
there's
I really
this
wanna
hunger,
do
this drive that's like this little engine that won't turn off.
Yeah.
And I can't turn it off anymore.
Yeah, I can't turn it
That's
off.
fair.
Like, it wasn't even that I was so invested, because right now most of the investment was just studying, the time, and then the money I put into the prep course. So I could have stopped, but I just was like, nah.
So
Girl,
so you took the test multiple times in the 4-year gap. Is what I'm hearing.
In total, I will have to be honest, I took the test 3 times. Yeah.
Hey, listen, if
The
you
first-
knew how many times I took the CPA exam
Girl,
to be where I am, girl,
look,
please.
It was 3 to 4 times. I was like, oh, Jesus. Do you know? I don't know. I don't know.
I think
like,
it's more of a testament of failing and getting back up rather than just going through and you pass it all with the first time. I feel like it's more of a testament of
I
of the
did
drive,
not.
the fight.
I was like, no, I'm not even gonna let this even. So the orthopedics office, though, is I think where my whole entire life changed. They were super supportive. This is where I met like my spiritual auntie, like Miss Alice. Like, when I tell you, like, spiritual auntie, I never fasted before. My growing up, my grandmother was like Thankful Baptist Church. I'm talking like hard down velvet seat pews.
Fire baptized.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my mom didn't exactly raise us that way, even though my mom grew up like that. And then when I got older, a lot of my like walk with the Lord was like much older. So like Miss Alice would always come up to me while I'm working, and Miss Alice knew what I wanted to do. She was like, "You been praying?" And I was like, I mean,
I love it.
I did when I went to bed. I might have went to sleep a little bit, but I did. I did. And she was like, okay. And so she was like, we fast every Tuesday. We fast from food. Like, we not finna eat. Like, I was not used to that. Like,
Low key, I already love Miss Alice.
girl, Miss Alice, when I tell you Miss Alice came for me, I don't even know how personal to tell you how far this thing went. Like, Miss Alice, like, oh, you got a little boyfriend. Okay. Like, Miss Alice and Kurt, I don't even know how deep I can get on this podcast, but like, when I tell you, she and spiritually and encouraged me and pushed me to really work on my walk with the Lord.
That's
it wasn't
so
even
good.
about med school at the time. Like, that little section of my life was just like, it's you and Jesus. It's you and Jesus.
I mean, because low key, you're not going to arrive in purpose, at least. Not in his purpose for your life without him.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, when I tell you, journey just went, I never saw, like, that year, that bingo card, never saw that. Toss the bingo card, because following up Miss Alice, she had, like, I'd never done some of this stuff before. And I was like, okay, cool. So I'm still studying. I'm still working.
Wow.
I'm still doing all the things. And I remember, so this job, actually, MUSC had reached out. It was, and I don't even know why, and I know it's God. I can't even say that.
Yeah.
But MUSC reached out and was like, hey, we have this program. If you're interested, it's 6 weeks. It's just a study intensive.
Wow.
Right. But when you're working, y'all don't, it's PTO. There's no 6 weeks off. Unless you're on maternity leave or something broke.
Yeah.
We are not taking time off. And so immediately when the lady on the phone is talking to me, she's like, oh, it's 6 weeks. You stay, we provide you like the dorm and everything.
Wow.
And I'm like, thank you. And I wanted to say thank you, but I didn't. I was just like, thank you. Let me just talk to some people and see what I could do. And I remember going home and just being like, I don't know how I'm going to get into this program.
Right, because this is 6 weeks on site, if you will.
Right, and I can't work.
Residential type
right.
job.
And this is a full-time job. I have house rent. I have bills.
You
I
have
can't
bills to pay.
Yeah, I can't just go. I went back. I told Miss Alice my dilemma. Miss Alice was one of my coworkers. Like, she ain't a manager. Like, she ain't a supervisor. Miss Alice is like my coworker. I go back and tell Miss Alice. She said, go talk to the CEO. Go talk to the CEO. What you mean? The last CEO, this one was great. Yeah. I was like, I don't know if I can go ask the CEO, can I leave for 6 weeks and y'all still pay me? Like, no. Go ask her. Okay, cool.
Knock. Go knock.
And the door will be, knocking the door will be open. Come on. So I go ask, trembling, shaking, sweating. And I just looked at her and I was just like, and she just looked at me like I was slow. And I was like, okay, just spit it out, Narja. And I said, look, there's this program. I told her all the details. It will require me to be gone for 6 weeks, but I really need a job. I just looked at her and was like, what do I do? And she was like, when you walk through these doors, you told me you wanted to go to med school.
Wow.
She said, everybody in this building knows you want to go down to the doctors. She said, I think you should go. I can't pay you, but I think you should go. And when you come back, your job will be here.
I love that. I love it. Like, she didn't tell you what she couldn't do. She told you what she could do.
Yeah. Like,
I love that.
Like, when I tell you I ran out her office down to Miss Alice, she said yes. She's like, I know. Like, I was like.
Miss Alice like, oh, yeah, I was already praying about this.
Oh, yeah, I already prayed about it. I already prayed. We done fasted on Tuesday for this.
Love this.
It was wild. It didn't make any sense. I went down to Charleston. I did the 6-week intensive. I took the test. Well, I'm probably jumping ahead, but I ended up finishing the program. At the end of the program, you schedule a point in time where you go take your test because you have stayed there for 6 weeks and done nothing but study.
Right.
When I tell you that was the best score, I probably, it was just great. I am so thankful. And I came back and I had my job and I told everybody and I was like, this is crazy.
That is bananas, really.
Right. I interviewed at USC. It was good. Like the rest of my interviews, I didn't interview too much out of state because it was just that cost.
Yeah, the cost wasn't going to be.
Yeah. So
And clearly you had the favor, so you didn't really need
did
to consider out of
didn't
state
even
because
know
you
I
had the
had it.
favor.
But yeah, Miss Alice reminded me. But
Yeah,
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 she
yeah.
did. She did. I thank her more than anything. So many days she knows, but she doesn't know.
So once you got in and you started the coursework, if you will, how was that? Like, was that a little bit smoother, or was it
I'm
challenging?
gonna be honest with you. So I think the one thing coming from like a small town, small place, and you get in med school, you're exposed to some stuff that you never like. There are the people my age driving Maseratis and stuff like that. It was like a trend.
Yes.
Like my mind mentally did not flip over because I was like, I had a Saab that I was driving
Probably
my
passed down from
right.
a
It was a
couple
pass
times.
down Saab. You can't cut the radio on in the air and the windshield wipers because baby, it was gonna lock up.
Yes.
And then I mean, like these kids that are wealthy, their legacies, they are the eighth generation of
My
doctor in
God.
their family.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
I'm just a regular degular
am I
smuggler.
supposed to be here? And I'm like, okay, you better
Ooh.
stop that.
So did you struggle with like imposter
Oh, very
syndrome?
much. Very
How
much.
long did it take you to get out of that idea that, hey, I feel like an imposter here?
Last week. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like
the last week
that.
of med school?
No,
Or you talking about last week?
I'm talking about
as-
last week. Like when I tell you, I don't imposter syndrome. It's weird. I don't think it truly goes away sometimes because it's just the next level of like imposter syndrome.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
it's levels to this thing because really, if you think about it, you work in a world that you probably it's
No.
rare to see.
Yes, when I went
people
to med
that look
school,
like you and me.
there were 180 kids in my class. 20 of us were black.
Wow.
The remainder, and you never know how like small of a fish in a big ocean you are. I can't even call it a pond because it is all the classes above you are the same.
In my mind, the way I perceive something like that, the fact that you come from this small town, the
Yeah.
fact that you come from nothing, and God put you in the pond.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and you were able to swim.
Yeah.
You ain't never been in these kind of currents. You ain't never been in these waters
Yeah.
before, and you're able to swim. I feel like that's a bigger. I
Yeah.
wouldn't feel like an imposter. I'd be looking at other people like y'all the imposter.
Look,
Because the fact that I got less, I came
Yeah.
with this much, and I can swim in it.
yeah.
You ain't really hitting on nothing
Yeah.
for real. To
You know
me,
what? I wish I
wouldn't
would have
even
had
look
that.
at it.
I had to have that. Somebody should have had that talk to me earlier because it was just
Because
like,
that means your ability to swim. That means
Yeah.
your ability is way greater than what they can ever say because you've had to be in all kind of waters and
Oh,
you've never
yeah.
been in a pool like that before. Like
Yeah.
I feel like it makes you that much more like. Don't tell me about my Jesus.
Yeah,
Please,
okay.
you the imposter.
Oh, the Lord. The
You
Lord
the
had
imposter,
done
not me.
stuff. The Lord, when I tell you the Lord, he was just wilding. I was
I love
like,
this.
because like I said, the prayer, the fasting, the life changes I made down. This is probably even more to add on the podcast than I should. It was like I went abstinent. I was being obedient in ways I never thought I would ever be obedient. Like
Amen.
it was
Don't
like,
say that on the podcast.
girl, I'm scared.
People
So
people don't understand that struggle of obedience. Like you're
Yeah.
where you are out
Yeah.
of obedience.
Yeah.
Obedience changes the game for you. Not,
yeah.
I asked God years ago, what's the difference between haves and have-nots in the body of Christ? Because you have
Obedience.
people who like it seems like they just by faith, and you got people who been in the game a long time and ain't got nothing. And I said, what's the difference between a have and have-nots in the body of Christ? And he said, obedience.
Oh, it is because that
It's
little
really-
boyfriend I told you about, he was gone. He was gone by the time I even got the acceptance letter. Like he didn't even make it to like the
He
first.
didn't make it to the
He did
acceptance
not
letter.
make it to the first month of med school. God was not playing. When I went obedient, I wasn't playing. God wasn't playing. And when I realized, oh, God's not playing, I just gotta follow what He said. I
Do
was
what he
like, oh, I was like, boy, you
said.
gotta go. You gotta go.
So how many years is med school?
it's 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So 4 years, and
Then you have to do residency after that for how
it
many
is
years?
just more and more and more. Yeah.
What's the process for
It's-
those of us who don't?
So-
So you got undergrad, and then
You got undergrad, the typical, well, I won't even say typical. The steps would be undergrad, med school, residency. If you do a fellowship is just like ultra specialized, and then you're out in the world to be an attending physician. So that's
How long is the
why
residency?
residency depends. So it can be 3 years. I think at most, if you go neurosurgery, something
Okay,
like that,
depending
then
on
it's
what.
7 years.
Okay,
Yeah,
got you.
how complex of the specialty you want to go into, it might be 7 years. So at least, but you're getting paid money, so at least you're getting paid for that. So
Okay.
so it's like a job on that part with residency. But I would say, yeah, I never saw how God like planned all that out. The 4 years in med school was definitely ups and downs. I enjoyed it. The people I went to school with, support was just,
Amen.
yeah. But I will have to be honest. The reason I will always just dote on MUSC is because they have a super diverse. They have a super supportive diversity office.
Oh,
When I
great.
tell you,
So you didn't feel like you were alone in the pool.
no, they would go out of their way for their students of color. When I support,
I
you are
love
not
that.
just going to fail. You're not just going to have a hard time without them. I mean, if
I
you have
love
a
it.
death in the family, like we've had pregnant students, they are there to make sure that if you have a need and
I
you are worried
love
you
that.
won't succeed, oh, they are right there. You're not
It's
just
not going to
gonna.
be life
Yes,
stuff just because
yes,
of what you don't have that
yes.
causes you not to get there.
Oh yes, they will walk you every step of the way. They know
I
you by
love that.
name. They are when I tell you they're locked into your family. I have to say it's terrible the thought of getting rid of some of those programs that they're literally there just to support.
Support.
That's it. Like that's just it. They're not a crutch. They're not helping you with the test. You still have to study. All
Yeah,
that work is
you got to
still
do the
on
work.
you.
You
Yeah.
got to do the work. And they
Yeah.
just ensure that life is not what's pushing you out.
Right.
Once you finish up med school and you do your residency, I'm assuming it's another test of some sort.
It is. So
Okay.
you remember how I told you I was like indecisive in
Yeah.
college? Oh yeah, it was still happening in med school. So I got to the end of med school, just like I did in high school and college. And I did not know what I wanted to do. I wanted to be
What?
a surgeon. I wanted to be an
Oh, Lord.
OB-GYN. I wanted to be an emergency medicine doctor. I'm just so naturally curious that I just knew
Wow.
I could not. I knew what I didn't want to do, which is this. That is going to be the shocker at the end of all this. But yeah, I was going to do one of those things.
So how did
Yeah.
you end up deciding? So is it a different? Obviously, it's a different test depending on where you're going. Is it?
It's not a different test. All the tests, they're step exams. So you probably hear people say step 1, step 2, step
Okay.
3. So we all take the same step exams. But when it comes to what you want to do, if you decide you want to go to emergency medicine, you'll do some internships, which you'll do like an acting internship at some program, like residency somewhere, so you can kind of see what the residency program is like. Or you don't get that much opportunity to do multiple internships, but you might do one or two. And then you go out and you interview for those things.
Gotcha.
So you'll hear about match and all that stuff. So yeah, I just knew after I will say the time wise, I sorted it out that I was going to be an OB-GYN.
Okay.
Yes, I was going to be OB-GYN.
How the ham sandwich we get from the OB-GYN to family?
Yeah, that was Jesus because apparently I don't know, he's just so funny. So yeah. So I knew I was going to be an OB-GYN. I go interview at all these places. I interviewed in Mississippi, Memphis.
Okay.
I interviewed here. I interviewed I think maybe in Virginia too. I interviewed in so many places. And I just knew, I knew what I wanted. Being in the class I was in at MUSC, all of our classmates, even though it was such a 180 is a lot of people, like we meshed very well, like diversity wise. I was like, okay, I want a program that's going to be like half and half. It doesn't have to be all black. I didn't feel super comfortable because there are some programs that are just
all or none.
It is all or none. Like I'm the only little piece of pepper in the salt. Like I don't
want to do that.
Yeah. So that's a little bit uncomfortable.
Right.
And I was just like, okay, so yeah. So I interviewed. I ended up I graduated med school in 2016.
Okay.
And I ended up going into OB-GYN. I matched into residency at University of Mississippi Medical Center
Okay.
in Jacksonville, Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was me going to
So
Jacksonville,
you originally
Mississippi.
did get out and go toward the OB-GYN.
Yes.
And so how do we make this left at the light?
Oh, girl, the left. That was a left at like 2 lights, a circle, a dog ran out in the road. It was something.
Because how long were you in Mississippi doing that?
Yes,
piece?
so I was there for a year.
Okay.
Residency Mississippi, the residency program itself, I felt like I made the best decision in picking. The residency program, I will say it did have some hangups.
Okay.
No program is going to be perfect, but there was just a lot of, when we say that something is bad in terms of like a residency, we always say it's a malignant residency program. I mean, it's just whether it's the fighting amongst each other, the lack of support, you name it. It's just like having a bad job. It was hard. OB-GYN is a lot. You are busy.
I bet.
You're busy, you're learning, you're trying to figure things out, you're independent much more because they are pushing you literally into the fire.
Like, hey, you gotta, this is your,
what
your
decision
baby,
are
this
you
is
gonna
your
make?
parent.
What decision are you gonna make? And I'm like, I don't know how to replace the potassium. Like, you are trying to learn how to be a doctor, think independently, and use your best judgment, and you're learning at the same time.
At the same time with a live patient. Did you have to deliver any bababies during this year?
Oh, girl, I delivered minimum 100 babies.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
Yeah,
just straight out the gate, just
straight. Yeah,
babies
your
rolling.
first night, you just hope your first day of residency, you did not have labor and delivery. Like, I was like, I think I ended up on some other rotation, but like, I was like, at least I ain't got L&D.
That sounds scary.
Yeah, it was. I was in surgeries, and in your mind you're just like, I just left med school.
I just got out of school 5 minutes ago.
Just got, like, literally you didn't have a break. You had a break, but it wasn't a break. You were in real life scenarios.
You like literally got pushed in the
you're like, I was just with a book like 5 minutes ago and I'm in the OR.
Wow.
And it's only me, like there's the person, the patient, the preceptor, and me, and I'm like, I have the scalpel in my hand.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
You had to do some C-sections too?
I did C-sections, hysterectomies, you name it. And the bad part, I can't even say the bad part. The good part about it, I enjoyed doing the surgeries. I enjoyed doing all of that. I realized I did not love as much of the deliveries as I thought. Like, some of the deliveries are crazy when the baby's breech and everything's on the line, is down to the minute.
True.
It's just like, oh, this is chaotic and hectic. And I love, like, my co-residents who were in the class with me, their eyes sparkled in the chaos. And I was just like, okay, God, just survive. Everybody survive. Everybody, like, it just... I realized I did not it was just, this is not the chaos I wanted. Gray hairs were just coming up.
I'm stressed just thinking about the process of potentially giving birth to a baby, and you just walked out the classroom 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And like, that sounds stressful.
Yeah. Your last 2 years of med school are clinical, but you don't have that much responsibility as you are, as
you
you're
have to
the
make
doctor.
the decisions.
Yeah. Like, now, once you graduate, med school, they call you Dr. Martin. It wasn't just like Narja. It was like, hey, Dr. Martin. Like, your patients address you like Dr. Martin. I'm like,
so when you heard Dr. Martin for the first time, how did you process that? Like, it's like delivering that first baby. Like, how did you process that?
It's
from
not
Bamberg.
real. It's not
like, how did you?
That level of surreal is just like, and it's like an out of body experience. Like, I see me holding this baby. These are my arms. I feel this baby. Are you here right now? Like, it is unimaginable.
Interesting.
And at the same time, it's just like, oh my God, you did it. You did it. And it's like,
you did it.
Yeah. It's like that internal person, like, yay, you did it, girl.
Wow.
But also like, oh my God, I did it. Like, and they're like, take a picture of me and my baby. I'm like, oh my God. Like,
so let's fast forward that.
Yeah.
And let's fast forward to
the switch.
The switch.
Oh gosh.
Because how did this switch happen?
God is so crazy.
let's get into that.
So, yeah. So I got through 6 months in, I started to realize this is I didn't love it. And don't pick a career you don't love.
That's fair.
Don't continue your life doing something you don't love just because somebody said you're good at it, or they think you're good at it, or they think, well, you're doing fine. Why would you want to
That's
leave
good.
this?
That's sound
Everybody
advice.
else's opinion about how successful you are, they're going to say, oh, you're doing so well, but you aren't internally happy. That is not a reason to keep going.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's actually good. 'Cause a
it's
lot of
not.
times you don't even realize it,
Yeah.
that you're making decisions out of people pleasing and
Yeah.
not necessarily.
Yeah, and it was that statement, like, just because you can doesn't mean you
should.
should. Yeah, like, no.
Just because it's good
Right.
doesn't mean it's God.
Yeah. Like, it was good, but I wasn't happy. The program itself was one thing. I really didn't love the deliveries. So I sat down with the preceptor like somewhere 6 months in. I was like, I don't think I'm doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I didn't have a plan because my other plans were surgery and
Yeah,
emergency.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I had no plan, and this isn't taught. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing to go left or
Mm-hmm.
change course. Is not taught in med school.
Yeah.
They're teaching you
Stay on the lane.
stay
that
in
you
your
get
lane.
in.
They're telling you to stay in your lane. So I'm like, I kind of don't know where to go from there. And I didn't start telling my preceptors first. I told close people within the program.
Mm-hmm.
However, my close people
Dang, that's tough. They spill the beans.
spill all of them. Spill every last bean before I could even get the beans on the pot. Like, yeah. So then other people started coming. I was like, hey, we heard that you're thinking about leaving. And those people, they were honest. They were like, we think you're a really great resident. And intern year is hard. And everybody knows residency intern year is just hard. I get that. Intern year is going to be hard anywhere. But for me, it's not just that it's hard. I don't see this in my future. And I heard a lot of conversations, to be honest, I heard a lot of conversations with the preceptors just talking about their personal lives, where they were saying how, they didn't get time to spend time with their families, or they didn't spend time with like their children, and they're having these regrets now at this age where they put so much into work.
Yeah.
That
Because it is a sacrifice.
Yeah, they sacrificed so much for their job because they wanted to.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here like, I'm a family girl. Like, I don't
want to sacrifice like that.
Yeah, I can't imagine not being home on like certain things or missing certain things with family. I get there as sacrifice and things we choose, but I can't see me not being with my family or having these regrets when I'm 50, 60, 70, 80s.
That's true.
Because time, you don't get time back.
You don't get it back.
You don't get that back. Like, yeah. So I was like, this is probably not the direction I should go. So by the end of the year, it had been enough voices talking around the program and the preceptors coming up to me. One of the things, the program director actually did not come to me. I don't know if she just wanted to wait till the last minute, but she waited till we were in the OR together. And she was just like, I heard you wanted to leave. I think you should think about it first. And I was like, I get it. I understand. I had some time off that was coming up around like spring breakish time, and I took some time off. I took a week off and went home. But it's like when I got home, it's like me being home with my family. I was like, no,
this is clear.
Yeah, it's clear.
It's very clear.
Me and the Lord had a good long talk, and I was like, well, Lord, I don't know where I'm going because I'm this big age, and what am I going to do from here? So we ended up, I came back. I let her know what my plan was. And she said, okay. One of the very encouraging preceptors walked up to me and she was like, look, you excel in clinic. You love to talk. Obviously, you talk a whole lot. And she was like, all right, cool. I think this is what you're going to do. She was like, have you considered these things? And she said family medicine. I was like, absolutely not. I thought I was going to be an emergency medicine doctor or a surgeon or this.
Why were you opposed to family medicine?
So in med school, I think family medicine is one of those things where they're like, med school does not push specialties, but I feel like it's like one of the specialties one of the programs that are not, I don't want to look down on. It's just not popular because it's just nobody wants to do family med. I don't know. It was something where everybody wanted to go into a specialty or they wanted shift work or this. And I never wanted to do family medicine. It was not anything where I disliked it, but it's kind of like if everybody's always looking at apples and oranges and everyone's like, we got grapes over here. And you're like,
Ain't nobody studying no grapes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go this way. So, and it
Yeah.
was nothing against it. I was just like, I don't think that's me. But at the same time, I knew I didn't, my only firm decision was I didn't want to do OB-GYN.
Okay.
So that's the crazy part. So, July 1st, I remember waking up with no job in Mississippi, laying in bed. I never felt so refreshed and happy
I
in my life.
bet.
Like,
Put that down.
the thing
Sheesh.
was, you would have thought I would have woke up and been like, oh my God, I don't have a job. No, I
The
woke
weight.
up.
You ain't got to carry that weight.
I think I went walking. I went to the store, got some food. I mean, you would have thought I was a brand new person.
Amen.
It was crazy. So now I'm trying to like arrange with my family because the whole time my family is aware. They know what's going on. They're like, just come home. Come home. You'll live at your grandparents' house. And I'm like, too old to be living at my grandparents' house. Like, first off, who is a doctor that don't have a job? So
I would imagine it shouldn't be as difficult.
Girl,
for a
it
doctor
is
to move about. Is it?
It is. So you have to be board certified to do a lot of things.
Okay.
So there's very few things you can do not board certified. So in this time I did go interview at one family medicine program to switch to family medicine out of cycle. So the cycle part is when you're in med school, you go through the match, which starts around September. So you start interviewing and you do this massive application that goes out to all these people. You interview for residencies and you go back around and you start in July.
For question before we go to the next. For those of us who don't exactly know what board certified mean, what does that mean?
So you have to pass a board. You
like another exam?
Yes.
Of some sort?
You have to pass, your medical board to basically have to be certified. And
Got you.
So
I'm assuming board certified individuals can do certain things that non-board certified.
Right. So your doctors that you currently see in your offices, they're all board certified.
Gotcha.
So if they work anywhere you see them, yes. So sometimes if you see somebody who is independent or doing maybe like a spa, like it's
okay, I see.
They might not be certified.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of particulars, but there's a lot of rules. There's just a lot of rules. But if you see them in a doctor's office, they're
generally board certified.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
So I did an off cycle because I was obviously not in med school to go and do this match process. I did an off cycle interview. That meant another residency program had an opening somewhere because they had people leave residency a lot for like visas or pregnancy or something happens where they might have to take a large amount of time off and they have to give up their spot at the program. So basically whoever had left that program, it was in Florida. I interviewed there. There was another girl actually leaving her OB-GYN program. We were both leaving there. They ended up taking her. And I was like, okay, you really don't have a job. So, yeah. So I interviewed with them like right before June, I think maybe like May, but I didn't. So at that point, by the time July 1st came, there was no prospects. I was going home to Bamberg. I haven't lived in Bamberg since I was in high school.
Wow.
Yes. So, I moved back home. There was a small part that was like, do you feel like a failure? I think you feel like a failure. And I was like, no, I think I'm good. I'm good. I'm fine. I ain't got no money, but I'm fine. So it was crazy. Like the devil worked hard. The devil worked hard to try to just make me feel all types of ways going back home. Like literally they took my stuff home. I had my vehicle. I packed my vehicle down. I'm driving back from like Mississippi to like down 20 trying to get back home. I break down in like Alabama, like girl, like it was like whatever money I had left, the devil was just like. I can see
that feels like a
snare.
I didn't get the win,
right? Like I'm just trying to leave. Yes.
When you're moving into something that, like you said, you were good at being an OB-GYN, and so moving out of something that looks lucrative, and God will have you move into a place that looks dry, desolate, and you may have to put down some things and in real life take a L.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was the strongest L. I'm capital
He literally
L.
had you take a L.
Yeah, like when I tell you I had this amount in my account, there was no reason by July. I was trying to get home by July 4th so I can enjoy July 4th in Bamberg. I had car full of stuff. I get to Alabama, my car never had an issue the whole time we were in Mississippi. car just breaks down in Alabama in front of
Wow.
Trader
So it just went
Joe's.
from bad to worse.
Worse, just like immediately. And I was like, God, the devil's
So
trying to
how
take me
long
out.
were you in Bamberg?
I was there for a
you...
year.
Okay.
Yep. So I was there for a year. Yeah. So it was crazy. So
So
basically,
it took wow. So you during that year that you were there, were you at like the family practice, or were you like just
no, I had no job.
No job.
We were out, no job at all.
What?
Yes.
So you was a year out in
I
the
never
wilderness.
saw that coming. There was no way. I just went through all of what I just told you.
I can't imagine the mental
to be unemployed.
experience you felt during that time.
Let me tell you, the crazy part
did
was,
you get like, were you interviewing for places and just getting a bunch of no's, or like?
So I ended up, I had to go back into the cycle of match, but that didn't start until September. So I had to do it as if I was like a med student, basically. So I had to go back into match. So I had from July to September to like re-get it together. And that's where God was like, all right, you fine. Let me show you why you fine.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, so it was a whole lot. Besides the fact my family had to like call a tow truck from like South Carolina to help me in Alabama and like all type of stuff. It was a mess.
So at what point, so we had about a year and then you pivoted back into the cycle, if you will.
Yes. So I went into, I had to go back through the match. When I tell you.
So does that mean like kind of like the residency that you did before? Is that what that means? You have to kind of do a period.
I know it's a lot of little intricacies. So so when I went through the application process again like a med student in September, just like a med student, I submitted my application. Your application goes to as many schools as you want to interview at, and they offer you an interview. So that meant through September through December, I was just interviewing at every place for a family medicine residency, just like you would the first time.
Okay. So it's kind of like you got to run it back.
You got to run it back, basically.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So I went through, I interviewed at a bunch of places. I was so afraid because I didn't know what they were going to think of me because I left that program. And they were actually so excited. They were like, oh, you have experience. You're going to be able to like do this. These other interns are coming in. They're just leaving med school. They don't know how to replace potassium. You have been an intern for a year. I look like some superhero coming in because I have experience. And so they were like, hey, come here. We want you to come here. And this whole time I was worried, like, who's going to want me?
And meanwhile, everybody wants you.
And I was like, oh my God. So I'm telling my grandparents, like, see, everything's fine.
It looked like a L was a L at that time, but it also was a win.
Girl, the
later.
L turned out to be a lesson. It wasn't a loss. It was a lesson, not a loss.
I like that. The L turned out to be a lesson
and not a loss. So,
but they do be losses sometimes. Don't get that twisted. They do be losses.
Yeah.
All right. So if we fast forward now, how long have you been in family medicine now?
I have now 3 years of residency, and I'm coming up on my 4th year as an attendant. It has been a total of 7 years to count.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I know I never saw that coming. I never saw. And when I tell you happy as a pea in a pod, I don't know. I'm just happy. Like it was actually the right decision.
And you actually enjoy your career. Like you
love
know
it.
that this is the lane you were supposed to be in.
I'm thankful that God was just God the whole time because he led me to the right residency and he took care of me and every need I had was just done.
Amen.
And then I got this job, which was all God because God was like, hey, because they was like, you got to negotiate a salary. A salary? I've never had a salary. Like a who? So and I was like, okay, God, I think I want this much. They went beyond that much. And I was like,
oh, amen.
Okay.
Amen.
Okay, because I was not prepared.
Exceeded your expectations.
Right, because this little girl from a small town that probably ain't had 2 pennies to rub together, there's no way to be here.
Amen.
And to be like, I don't have to worry. I don't have to think twice about it. When I remember my mom having moments of like, seeing a yellow letter on the gate, and I just knew because she was crying something had to be paid for.
Right.
To now, they don't have to worry about stuff.
Amen to
and
that.
I'm like,
let's go.
Baby, like when I tell you, like I never saw that coming.
Amen. I think one of the biggest lessons, or something I'm seeing you repeat over and over without repeating, is you didn't exactly have a plan, right?
No.
So I think it's important to know, because just like you have those folks who plan stuff, that it's okay to not have a plan. It's okay to not have a definitive and just kind of just take steps and just kind of move.
Yeah.
And it sounds like God just placed the people as you were going, because
Yeah.
Miss Alice changed the
She changed the game. Yeah.
she changed the whole
Yeah.
trajectory, really.
Yeah.
So it just sounds like you don't have to settle in or feel like it's not working or this, that, and the third, because everybody has a different journey, and
Yes.
you don't necessarily, your journey may not require that you know definitively what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Because you may not be set up that way. My last question, final thoughts. What would you tell? What would be maybe the best advice you would give, or maybe somebody who's struggling with that imposter situation or imposter syndrome? Like, what would you say to that person? Because you work in a very unique position, and like you said, you were struggling with it as recently as last week. But what would you say? But here you are, though. You're still here.
Yeah.
So what would you say to that person?
I honestly, I would just have to tell them just have faith, because those voices of that imposter syndrome, it's just little wayward voices that are just trying to tell you that everything that God has for you is not for you, and that's not true. And you'll believe something. It's just like that snake telling you, "Hey, but what if it's not for you?" You don't listen to that voice. And there's no, I wish there was like some like grand thing I can say. Just don't listen to it. And because it's so easy to get sucked into like is this really mine? And God's like, I'm trying to give it to you. Why are you like questioning what I'm trying to bless you with?
Sabotaging it.
Yeah, like why are you trying to sabotage it? And it's just like you have all of this faith in the world to be like, I don't know. Like, do you have the faith? I thought you said you have it. Like, so you're going to question some things. You're going to question it. But just remember, like, I would always say, just return back to prayer, go back to fasting, because it does work.
Amen.
It definitely does work.
Amen to that.
And then still at the end of the day, if you're not sure, really sit down with yourself and take some time, because it's going to be between you, the Lord, and what you write down on that piece of paper at the end of the night more than it is anybody else in that room around you.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
So basically, you're going to have to sit down and work it out with you and God.
Yeah, it's just
That's all it is.
It's going to be a lot of you talks, and it's going to be a lot of self-reflection and being insightful. You have to know you before you can work on or take another step. Because if you don't know you, trying to go step into a world where everybody else is going to have an opinion about you.
Oh, that's so good.
You're going to get lost.
That's so good.
You're going to get lost because people are going to say, go that way. And they're going to do it just like that. And you don't know which way that means.
Yeah, that's good. That's good sound advice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you,
Oh,
Dr.
girl,
Martin, for taking the time out of your day to come and sit with us. Thank you so much for all of the insight that you've given us. And thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope to see you back here next week. Thanks. Bye.